What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Baker's Financial Foundation. So today we are going to be going over how the month of February went with our budget, where we ended up, how good or bad we did, and the changes that we are going to have to make coming into March in order to keep ourselves on track so that we can continue paying off our debt as fast and efficiently as we possibly can. So before we get started really breaking down the numbers, I just want to give a general overview of kind of how February went for us. So our income definitely dropped from last month since I wasn't working so much overtime this month, and we nailed income right on the head with what we were expecting to bring in. As far as our expenses go, the only thing that really jumped out at us this month was a teacher symposium that my wife went to. So she was gone for a couple days and had to pay for her hotel room, all of her food, and all the expenses that came with that trip. And it was something that we kind of knew about in advance, but not way before we started this whole budget system where we would have been able to put money back for it and not have to worry about it. So we definitely went over this month because of that. Month number 2 of budgeting, we felt better about creating our budget, but as far as sticking to it, we still didn't follow it exactly like we should have. There are a lot of categories in the budget though that we are doing really good on, as far as car maintenance, gasoline, all of our debt, and our regular payments. We're staying right on track with those. But the biggest things we're having trouble with right now are our food and keeping up with diapers and wipes and all the stuff that we need for the baby, because all that stuff is adding up like crazy at this point. And trying to find a good balance between going out to eat and buying stuff from the grocery store has really been kind of tough. So when we look at our budget, we include everything that we get from supermarkets into the one category called grocery/baby. And it's really hard for us to try to break that category down. And again, I mean, I could split all the receipts up every time we go somewhere, but every time we go to the store, it's a combination of baby stuff and the food that we eat. So it makes it really hard to differentiate between the two. As far as restaurants and going out to eat, last month we did really good, except for her trip. She definitely splurged a little bit. So that's kind of the general overview of how the month went. And now go ahead and record our Every Dollar app and go break down every single category and show you exactly how we did for the month of February. So here I've got February pulled up on my app, and you can see going down through here that we planned our income at $4,600 just like we have been. And when we click on that tab, you can go ahead and see that we made $46.95.33. So we were pretty close on the income right here for this month. That extra $95.33 wasn't a ton, but you will also see that that included the overage right here that I pulled up from last month. So if you'll remember from the January video, we actually came out positive in the month, even though we spent way over our budget just because of how much extra income we had. And that 175 was extra money that went towards that 4,600. So that extra 175 was a good thing, because if you look at the NCCS, that is my wife's paycheck, her net income was only 1,974, and it's generally closer to 2,200. And the reason for her paycheck being a little bit lower was because our babysitter's kids were sick. My wife had to take off work a couple Mondays, and that affected her paycheck. So little things like that, that's why I like keeping the overage from the month before, just in case something like that does happen. And that allowed our income to be right exactly where it should have been. Now scrolling down through our planned category, you can see that nothing really changed. It's all pretty much the same. The gas, we did lower it a lot and added some of that money to the grocery/baby. We ended up at $325 for that and $225 for restaurants. Scrolling down through there, $30 for pet care, $20 for clothing, $10 for sports and entertainment. We did add Holly. So Holly is our babysitter. And if he goes one day per week per month, it's roughly $120 a month. So I went ahead and added that into the budget after the fact. And you can see up at the top there, it says $123.15 over budget. So that is telling us that when we pay all of our categories, if we were to stay exactly within budget, we would still have to make an extra $123. So really that's going to put our monthly income, what we need to plan it around, closer to $47.50. So looking at that income, how are we going to get our income up to $47.50 to give us a more realistic income amount in order to pay for all of our expenses? Well, we either need to pay off a debt and get rid of a payment, or figure out a way to increase our income. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is a combination of the two. I originally wanted to keep our budget exactly the way it is, but as much as we're spending on food and on his clothes and diapers and all that other stuff that he needs, I just don't feel like $4,600 a month is going to cover everything that we are paying right now. But the two ways that we are going to be able to change our income a little bit is A, change the deductions on our tax forms. So our W-4, I need to go in and adjust that since we have him and we are getting a little bit more back. But I will also pay off one of our debts. So if we pay off that little Discover card at $50 a month, that is going to save us $50 right there. And then if I change our W-4 form to give us a little bit more money back every month, that might make up the difference that we need in order to keep the budget straight and keep everything on track. Now, as far as what we spent this month, when we tab over to that category, you can see we went well over budget, and that is not something that we are proud of. We know that we went over because of the trip that my wife took, and that was something that was completely not put into the budget before the month started. So we knew we were going to have an overage there. But as far as the difference, when you look at our total income minus our expenses for the month of February, we are in the red $1,056.82. So that is absolutely insane. And when we go through these categories, I'm going to talk about where we were, how bad we did, and the places that we saved money that it didn't even matter because of how far over we went. So I'm going to go ahead and start scrolling down. Now, if you see on the app right here, the apps that have a green line mean that you spent exactly what you budgeted or a little bit less. So these top categories, as far as our offering and emergency fund, we didn't put anything in that this month, obviously, because we don't have anything left to put there. As far as our housing, every single one of those is right on target what we wanted to spend. Our utilities were a little bit lower, but not very much. Gas and maintenance. So if we look at that, you can see that our gas was a lot closer than what we had originally budgeted at. We planned for 175. We only spent 137, which is awesome. So we're on track with that. Our car maintenance, we spent $30. So had we have been on budget this month, we would have been able to put back about $15 for gas and $20 for car maintenance that we could have saved whenever we do have something come up that now we had nothing to put back. So here's the big one, the food, the groceries / baby and restaurants. One thing that we have noticed over the past couple months, being at home and cooking a lot more and cleaning a lot more, is our water bill has went up tremendously. So the amount of money that we are saving on food, I honestly think that we are spending a lot of it now on our utility payment, which is kind of defeating the purpose of eating at home. So my wife and I were talking about it, trying to figure out what the balance is between the two. But we are happy with that $225 number for going out to eat right now. We don't think we need to change it very much because that is already limiting us back a heck of a lot more than what we used to go out to eat. So we are happy with that. The only category we have to figure out is this grocery / baby. And if we pull the category up, literally everything we spent was at Walmart, Target, and I went to Sam's one time. All of these purchases are nothing extra. I can't think of anything that we bought in the month of February that we didn't need or didn't use. So going down the month of February, we spent $0 on the dog, $0 on clothing. Sports and entertainment was pretty high because of where we went out. Our miscellaneous category was absolutely crazy this month too. There's just a lot of miscellaneous things that we really need to hammer out and try to figure some of this stuff out. So a lot of it, we had baby pictures taken this month. There was a couple times that my wife had to buy teacher supplies. We did buy some Valentine's gifts for each other, so that was in there. And then just a lot of other miscellaneous purchases that we probably could have went by with not making. So that's something that Meg and I are going to have to sit down and really talk about and try to hammer out these two categories, because I really think if we could get these two categories under control. So if we keep scrolling down into debt, you can see right here that we went a little bit over on a couple of them. That's not necessarily a bad thing in this category. So basically at this point going into March, the budget is not going to change at all. The numbers are going to be exactly the same for our planned category. But what we want to do is try to figure out a way to save a little bit of money for the month, as well as create a little more net income. So the plan right now, like I talked about at the beginning of the video, is to go ahead and pay off that Discover loan so we can save that $50 a month, and then change my W-4 withholding in order to get back probably an extra $50 to $100 a month. That should land us in a good spot that we're not going to be getting as big of a tax return next year, and that we're going to be able to use our money where we really need it. But that's really all I've got for this video going from February to March, just showing you guys exactly where our budget ended up, where we went over, and the things that we need to work on personally. So if you are following this journey or you are on the journey yourself, leave a comment below. Leave some struggles that you're having or solutions that you have came up with in order to help yourself stay on budget and create extra income or lower your expenses. And be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the future content coming out. But with that, I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I hope you are enjoying the journey, as well as some of the informative videos that I throw in the middle of every single month. And hopefully in the future, I will start adding a couple more videos per week, try to get a little bit more involved as I figure this YouTube thing out and figure out the way that I like to film and style these videos for you guys. So any feedback is definitely appreciated. So with that, keep killing your own personal financial goals, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.